guys, what's up? Arshkusada here. So for my first guide for 2017, and my first guide in a while to be honest, I wanted to do something a little different. So this will hopefully be one video of a series that I'll call Creation to Blank. So in this case, I'm going to be doing Creation to Rorarii. So I'm going to be outlining basically all the steps, pretty much step by step, in order to go from spawning in Taverley to camping Rorarii for GP. This will be somewhat reminiscent to, like back in the days when people had guides for making Zerker Pures and Range Pures and whatnot. So first off, why Rorarii? It's not great money in and of itself, but it's around 1.5 mil GP per hour. However, the main benefit of this is that it is pretty AFK, and I have a special. Rorarii has a special place in my heart because it's personally what I did on my alt to help pay for 5.4 bill. So I'd skill in my main and then kill Rorarii on an alt because it was AFK enough to do so. And an advantage of this account over other builds such as Dwogr alts is that it's relatively easy to make, and key prices have kind of stabilized at the moment. They're not as high as they used to be, obviously, but because of that, there actually isn't that much action going on there because everyone goes to D picks now. So anyways, let's get into it. So now I'm going to do an overview of the requirements needed to do Rorarii. So basically all you do need is 81 Slayer, and I recommend 70 plus ranged. Although there are a number of quests that you can do to help speed up this process, including Dwarf Cannon to speed up your range training, Fairy Tale Part 2 for fairy rings, Animal Magnetism for an Ava's device, Smoking Kills for Slayer points, as well as the Simona Slayer Master, and the World Wakes quest because it's an easy Grandmaster in that there are no requirements, and you do get a 110k Slayer lamp at level 70 and 300k XP in lamps that you can use at level 75, and then you have access to Death Swiftness. You get a combat lamp for 150k at level 65. It's just really good overall. And then therefore, in order to do those quests, there are also 2 extra skill requirements in 31 crafting and 36 woodcutting. So now I'm going to be showing you how I would approach these requirements. So first I would do the Dwarf Cannon quest, and then I would start focusing on training up my ranged. So at level 1 I would go to the circus and do the ranged training event. This should get you anywhere between from level 1 to level 10 to 15, depending on how good your RNG is. And then after that I would start camping different mobs. So in camping the different mobs, I would highly recommend aggression potions, as well as bringing the dwarf multi-cannon that you just did the quest for to make this AFK for yourself, because why not? So from whatever level you got from the circus until level 30, I would do troll shamans north of Berthope. From levels 30 to 55, I would go to the ghouls west of Canifis. And from 55 to around 60 to 65, I'd say, then use red chins at the abyss. When you're at the abyss though, I would recommend not the 2 main spots, because at that level you might find it difficult to survive. So at these lower levels, since you don't have soul split or anything like that, and we're not going to get soul split in this scenario anyways, then I would highly recommend that you have a Blood Amulet of Fury for its passive healing effect. And overall, from level 1 range to around 60 to 65 range, it should take you only around 5 hours or so. So after you've gotten ranged out of the way, then I would not start Slayer right away, because the best way to train Slayer, especially at lower levels, is to just do your Reaper tasks, because they can give like 10k Slayer XP, meaning that from one task you can go from level 1 to 27 Slayer. So, and if you're having trouble killing the bosses, then you can bring your main account, you can bring a friend of some sort to help you out, because those tasks, you don't need to do the majority of the damage, you just need to tag them pretty much. So I would do my daily Reaper task, and in the meantime I would either do the quests or I'd do the skilling in order to be able to do the quests. So for level 31 crafting for Lost City, you can skill at the loom of a clan citadel. That would probably be the easiest. However, if you don't have access to that, then you can blow glass until level 20 and then cut sapphires until level 31. And then for 36 wood cutting, you can also either skill at a clan citadel, or you can do divine locations and then chop oaks or whatever. Again, this is only 36 wood cutting that you need, so it's really not that big of a deal. And then just finish all the quests up. There isn't any particular order that you need to do them in. Obviously do the prerequisites for the quest that you need first, because you have to. You only have to do Fairy Tale Part 2 up until the part where you have Fairy Ring access. That's the whole purpose of that, so you don't need the skill requirements in order to actually finish that quest. But anyways, that should take around 13 hours or so in order to do all of them. So after you've leveled up your ranged, after you've finished up all your quests, that's when I would start camping the Slayer, because you have to at this point. That's your last requirement. So there really isn't that much to say at these lower levels. Just do the best tasks that you can, pod up, use your aggression potions, use your dwarf multi-cannon. If you can get your hands on some VIP Slayer tickets. I mean, it's probably not going to be that useful at lower levels anyways, but you just bear through it pretty much at this point. Conservatively, you can estimate this to be around 50 hours, but that's being extremely generous. I would say maybe 30 hours would be like would be you going at a decent pace. And that's it. You should hit level 81 Slayer at that point. So a conservative estimate of around 70 hours. So at this point, now that you're able to kill Rorarii, I'll just go over a little bit of the setup. So just use the best armor that you can at this point. You might not be whatever level defense, so you'll probably have to settle for dragon hide or something like that. But when I did it back in the day, what I did was wear full armadillo, a blood amulet of fury, an Ava's device, ring of life, and I personally use a royal crossbow. Sorry. But before that, you can use whatever appropriate gear you want. So anyways, I went there with the Ooglog lodestone, searched northwest and into this first area, and that's about it. And then from then on, you can do whatever other extra stuff that you want to help improve your kills. So Corruption Shot would obviously be really great. Ice Asylum at 91 Constitution is a good ability if you need some healing. Obviously use your Death Swiftness that you got from World Wakes. And Vampirism Aura is really great. Bunyips are good if you bother to get the summoning. And that's about it. You can mix and match and experiment with your inventory setups. I personally just brought 8 super prayer renewals and 10 prayer potions when I did it, and then banged. Usually that was enough to get me a full inventory of keys. And just make sure that your loot beams are on 100k plus, so you don't miss out on any Serenic scales as well. And that's pretty much it. You're on your way to camping Rorarii and making a shit ton of money. Anyways, that was the video. Hope you enjoyed it. So like this video if you liked it, comment with any comments, subscribe for more content, and as always, stay fishing, my friends.